I want to talk about the kidnapping of people, the stealing of people, the human trafficking of people, carried out for political gain. This is so evil and so fucking Republican. Feeding them and sheltering them like the good people of Martha's Vineyard did, that's so very, very Democrat. Providing them with jobs and legal representation, so very Democrat. DeSantis thought that he could own the LIBS, but all he did was shit on his own house. It's easy to see the difference between Democrats and Republicans. You know, if you don't understand the difference, take a look at Martha's Vineyard. You know, the Bible says that you should feed the children and clothe them. And that's exactly what Martha's Vineyard did. With no notice, no idea these people were even coming, as soon as they landed, the good people of Martha's Vineyard came out to welcome them. They're now all at a shelter in Cape Cod. Cape Cod. Wish I was going to Cape Cod. You know, this is what good people do, rather than human trafficking for political gain. My God. I heard some Republican congresswoman, a Russian immigrant, and I'm so glad she's here, but she's kind of an evil bitch. She was on Fox News and said, hey, these people need to come correctly to America. I paid for my ticket. Do you hear yourself, bitch? Let me tell you, my wife is a Russian immigrant. And as a matter of fact, that's exactly how they came. On an airplane. And they came to New York. And they were immediately welcomed. Because that's what you do. These people from Venezuela, they're no different than my wife's family coming from the Soviet Union. A communist regime is a communist regime. Whose fucking side are you people on? Huh. Y'all thought this would, be some kind of a wonderful little moment. Own those libs. You made yourself look like assholes.
Yesterday morning, that island was 89% white, monochromatic, and utterly homogenous. First, they can occupy Barack Obama's compound. There is no reason Obama needs that much space. Nobody needs that much space. You could probably fit a dozen immigrant families in Barack Obama's pool house and another 5 or 6 in the pantry. Keep going. Build a soccer field on the lawn, an outdoor goat barbecue by the back door, and bingo, you've got affordable housing. But it won't be enough. The Vineyard is going to need to construct shanty towns for all these new people. But we can't call them shanty towns. Obviously, that's demeaning. So we're going to call them townships, after Obama's favorite country. And then we're going to give them dignified names that suggest some kind of victory over adversity. Mandela, Cesar Chavezville, Kamala Apopolis. If we're being honest, we don't want to see Martha's Vineyard trashed. We're Americans. And Martha's Vineyard is a beautiful place. Unfortunately, and this really is the point, Martha's Vineyard is one of a dwindling number of beautiful places left in our country. Martha's Vineyard is what most of America once was, not all that long ago. Small, socially cohesive, orderly, safe, 89% white, monochromatic, and utterly homogenous, with traditional human-centered architecture, unspoiled by industrial wind farms and dollar stores.
This is all performance art. That's all it is. Like Trump's building the wall. Throwing babies in prison. It was evil. But it was also just bullshit, so they could own the libs.
We plan to die here. We have nowhere else to go, and we don't want to live in a slum.
Ridiculous. Fuck you, Fox. Kids are not your enemy, people. Kids are not your enemy. Hey, I'm glad they're going to get the proper representation that they're going to need. We'll see how it works out. Because you send them to an island full of rich, incredibly bored, retired, Democratic trial lawyers. Ha! We'll see how that works out for you there, Ronnie.
Tonight, volunteers unloading donated dinner for the 50 or so Venezuelan migrants sent to Martha's Vineyard. Those men, women, and children preparing for a second night here after they say they were put on a plane in San Antonio with false promises. This young man who works as a mechanic telling us he's grateful for the help he's been able to receive in Massachusetts while he was deceived in Texas. Tonight, we're also learning this was the information the migrants were given about where they were going. Maps pointing from Texas to Massachusetts, one of the vineyard, and a brochure, which immigration lawyers say contained misleading information to set them up for failure.
It could not be clearer that this is an attempt to ensure that these people are ordered removed, even as they try as hard as they can to comply with the instructions provided to them.
Lawyers and lawmakers alike now vowing legal action against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is taking credit for what he says is part of his state's relocation program, but what many here are calling a political stunt.
Whether or not this meets the legal threshold of human trafficking, this meets the moral threshold of human trafficking.
They were using people as political chattel to leveraging taxpayer money for private corporate jets.
Governor Baker and other local officials now exploring setting up temporary shelters and humanitarian services at Joint Base Cape Cod, while those here wait in limbo, unsure about what lies in store for them.
This is all part of Ron DeSantis' $12 million ploy to commit fraud and to human traffic for the purposes of owning the libs. And I hear all these Republicans on all these channels talking about how, well, Obama and Biden did this, that they're shipping people all over the country in the dark of night. You stupid fucks. Do you know who they're shipping? The families of little kids that Trump stole. We're reuniting them. Reuniting them with their mothers and their fathers. Because we're Democrats. We're not evil Republicans. Y'all look like evil. Sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Like and subscribe. Tell me in the comments why I'm wrong. You know, you Republicans always talk about how you're, anti-communism. Like that chick from Florida. She said, well, I pay for my ticket. I was fleeing, the USSR. These people are fleeing Venezuela, the biggest communist country in all of the Americas. What the hell's the matter with you, Republicans? You're trying to screw them out of their asylum? But what more would you expect? Because, Republicans are kind of evil. We'll see how it works out, Ronnie. Because they have immigration attorneys. Really, really good ones. And they're working pro bono. So, don't be surprised if you get subpoenaed. You take it easy, Greg Abbott. You take it easy, Ron DeSantis. You pieces of shit. See how it works out for you. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Y'all take it easy.